Yeah, move it then.
So, we are about to go into a best of one between NoName, who is the red Terran in the lower right position. He is playing against NoxOuT, who is the blue Terran in the top left. I am SC2 England, and my lovely co-caster is Pughy. Say hi, Pughy.
Hey guys.
So, this is a TvT. The map is Crevasse. We were talking just before this game went live about how this is a peculiar map.
It is. And this map was always one that kind of favoured Terran a little bit because there's so much dead space around all the bases that drops become pretty potent to an extent. And of course they are cross position as well.
So,
So
masses of space. I mean, the most critical thing about this map is you've got a base in your base,
yes.
which admittedly it's got less mineral patches, and it's also got that rich Vespian geyser,
It
which
does.
is quite significant. So, to be honest, I foresee both of these players doing a big two base push. That is what I predict happening here,
Do you
because
think?
yeah, although they are cross spawn, so we could see quite an early third. I mean, it depends what style they really want to go for.
Mm.
It is a best of one though, remember, so by going
Yeah.
for a big two base push,
For some sort of all in it, just it gives them that timing.
yeah,
They
if you hit a
can.
nice timing on it, you can definitely do big damage. Um,
Alright, so
Knocks
we
out
we
getting
actually
his
have
gas. So
sorry, we have a CC first from NoName, and we have a Rax Gas from NoxOuT thus far.
really getting that early gas says either going to see Reapers or Hellions. Um, I predict we'll see a Reaper come out actually.
You could be playing for the later game though.
It
Like
could be, but I mean, you can
Club
get a
Banshee.
Reaper up to this back base as well quite easily, and if the opponent has gone for that fast base in a base, then obviously you can punish that quite significantly.
That is a true point. We don't have anything yet. We have enough gas for a tech lab.
We will
So
wait and see. Something will come out. But I think he's just waiting for that one Marine to come out in case there's anything super all-in-ish from NoName. But to be honest, it's still fine. He's going to scout that hidden command center. NoName getting out two racks now out of this. And
second gas.
yeah, second gas out there for NoxOuT. So
Looks like the Banshees.
yeah, Banshees are definitely on the cards. And that will be really quite nice actually.
And NoName hasn't scouted yet either. So it looks like NoName is definitely the more confident player. He's probably a bit more solid, and he's just playing a safe. Well, okay, fair enough. CC first isn't really safe, but it's
On this map, it pretty
on
much
this map,
is. It's a
yeah.
huge map. Well, it's not huge, but it's a large map. You've got the bases in your base, so
Mhm.
if you did see a push coming, you could wall off quite happily. Um,
Absolutely.
I
And as
mean,
you can see, the depots are there already.
yeah, we've got NoxOut getting his factory up, and this is looking so much like a Banshee play, which, as we were saying earlier, is good because there's a lot of dead space around all of the bases. Specifically,
Definitely.
this base in a base.
And we have a double gas being thrown down now for NoName. So of course he went command center first into double rack. So that's expected to take you double gas to catch up on the lost gas mining time. And
There's a
I wonder
starport and a tech lab coming up for NoxOut now as well, so
uh,
Banshees are definitely on the cards. A lot of
yeah,
gas saved
I
up.
wonder if he drops a scan. He should drop a scan.
Yeah, very short. I mean, the key thing which is missing is obviously NoxOut hasn't even started an expansion yet.
No.
So
And when you're playing, it is greedy to go for the command center first. You should definitely, you have the extra scans because of the faster orbital, so you should definitely burn one to see what your opponent's doing. Or, even if you don't see an expansion, obviously some type of all-in or pressure is coming.
exactly, there goes Cloak for the Banshees coming out from NoxOut. A reactor being added onto this barracks, as well as a third barracks and an engineering bay on its way. So what's that scouting? Because if that engineering bay's out, we're gonna have missile turrets and that says an awful lot. There
Oh,
goes the
there we are.
scan. Money scan shows absolutely everything,
Yep,
and
that shows the command center placement where it would be. He sees the command center now is
just
down.
going down. So,
Yep.
to be honest, that is such a massive tell.
Yeah. Well, you know that actually Cloak was just cancelled, but yeah, you know that when something is being researched on a tech lab, it glows green. So he knew Cloak was being searched. He knew it. So that's why Cloak was cancelled.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if NoName still throws down a missile turret at each base, just
Oh
to be
yeah.
on the safe side. He almost certainly will. But
I'd be very disappointed. And look at this. NoxOuT has actually realized now that with the scan, he knows. Obviously, he knows his opponent knows what he's doing. He's seeing the expansion time, and he's actually going for a third command center.
and that is a really, really quick third commander center. Here comes
It
down
is.
the missile turrets at the moment, though, so this Banshee is going to do less than nothing, really.
Yeah, it can still catch the ones in the gas, but of course there are Marines out now.
Could try and take out the SCV to prevent the missile turret going down, which it looks like
It does.
a couple of SCV kills will go down, but in come the Marines. So, I mean, really the Banshee, with the amount of kills it's got so far, probably paid for itself just, but hasn't paid for the economic loss from rushing it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Good way to put it there. And of course, looking at our supplies now, the NoName is ahead in supplies. 8 harvesters ahead, or 10 now, which is a fair amount.
And he's also
He
got
isn't-
extra mules because of the
Yeah.
additional orbital.
And the second orbital is now morphing for NoxOuT. Third command center is about to finish.
Stim's also
he's-
finished for NoName, that's a really critical thing, Pughy.
Oh yes.
So, and I mean, Stim's only half done really for NoxOuT.
And he's also getting plus upgrades as well. So he's got +1 in production. And that's he's going to turn that into a he can't turn that into a planetary.
No, he's got no engineering bay down yet.
No.
NoxOuT, he's actually bringing himself back in this game by taking that super fast third,
He
though.
is. He can't realize he's behind, so this is his risk fee reward. So, he's if this goes on long enough, it will reward him and probably put him ahead in the long term.
Having said that, NoName has just thrown down his own command center and is loading up a double drop.
Yep.
And that is going to go straight to the natural base of NoxOuT and deal very, very significant damage. Double engineering bay coming out though for NoxOuT. And Pughy, do you think double upgrades are worth the risk at this stage to really trying to catch up with NoName's +1?
I think that's a good call, because of course if NoName stays on one eBay, he will
Forever be
catch up
behind.
eventually or overtake him. Yeah, well, 2 eBays will eventually overtake him, but I know. Keep an eye on this medevac now.
I know,
Force
this big
coming up
drop
now.
coming down, and there's literally nothing here. And with Stim and Combat Shield done as well as the +1, big damage is going to go down everywhere.
He has more Marines than NoxOuT as well. He just has worse positioning, so the Marines take more damage and die much faster. And one medevac is
Does get away with 15 HP, and how many workers were killed there? 11 workers killed there by NoName. So not only did he get a better economical opening, he's done more economical damage, and most importantly, that Banshee didn't do much. So we now are
Yeah.
48 to 37 SCVs in favour of NoName.
That's
which-
quite a large amount as well.
It'll be interesting to see if this drop goes and sweeps around just to take a quick check at the third, but hopefully we will see in a second if that does go down.
And of course, the units in the middle of the map have been spotted by these 3 Hellions at the tower. I wonder.
The Hellions are going to pull back, or
Well, they're pretty much cornered now. They can't actually get out of here.
but again, if we look in NoName's base, he's got tanks up, he's got quite a lot of Marines up, he's got a lot more medevacs. He's also getting the 2-2 double upgrades now as well. So as well as the +1 vehicle weapons. That third command center hasn't floated down yet. A center tower up for NoxOuT, and essentially I'd say these two players are pretty level right now. What do you reckon, Pugh?
I know. Well, NoName is far ahead in supply. Let's look at the tech. Is there any? I think only now NoxOuT is actually starting to produce tanks, so he is actually going to be behind in the tank count. Not by many. There's only 3 tanks are out for NoName, but he already has the second factory in production.
NoName's also taking his third base now, and he's still nicely ahead in terms of harvesters. So I think economically these two players are very, very equal, because the third base was out slightly quicker for NoxOuT. It's questionable, but I'd say they're pretty even in the grand scheme of things.
I find it hard to tell the difference. There is only 2 harvesters difference, so I would say NoxOuT is definitely come back economically, because of course he was behind, so that third center definitely paid for itself.
Meanwhile, we've got more racks in production here for NoName. He's also getting up. NoxOuT is getting some missile turrets up. He's getting 2 more factories out as well. So I'm not sure if that puts the grand scheme of factories. It does put it in NoxOuT's favour at 3-2. But obviously a 4th command center now coming out for NoName.
Nice.
So going to take this extra kind of half base just to the north of his third. But there goes down a scan for NoxOuT, and that sees everything, including the tank count and the marine town count and the upgrades.
He's a bit oversaturated at his third, but I guess that's acceptable because, of course, your second base is quite small.
Yeah, it's always going to be the case. I mean, the other thing is, I mean, the +2 infantry attack just finished up for NoName, so is the +1 vehicle weapons. He's got the greater tank count by 3, and this is a great time to push. He's actually loading these up as well. And he's going to go and drop it, but there is that sensor tower down, so that's it. He's going to go and try and drop it on top of it. Needs to be really careful. NoxOuT is running forward now with all of those marines. Needs to be exceptionally careful because if any of those medevacs get picked off, and that one tank could make a big difference, will get sacrificed, but worth it.
That was well worth it. That was so close. And that is really bad by NoName, in my opinion, because that's the second time he's walked into the tower vision of his opponent, and he's not checking them.
Yeah, I mean, he's not checking the towers, but also, where is he going to drop? He couldn't drop to that back base because, well, there's the sensor tower there, sees everything, and has he even gone to check to see if NoxOuT has got that third?
Yeah, he sees it.
Oh, he does know that it's there, so that's not too bad. And really, NoName is in a position now where he's going to have that real slow push forward. He's got the tank advantage currently, so just wants to get a good siege position. That is exactly what he's getting here, getting the high ground siege, and is now really pinned NoxOuT back, and has secured that fourth base of his own.
I definitely feel like NoName is ahead, even though they're economically about even.
And supply.
Yeah, but because NoName had the economic advantage earlier, he, in my opinion, has the better production capability and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like he is just ahead in terms of what he can make and stuff.
We've got big movement here, and who's going to get the first siege up? It will be NoName, but scans go off everywhere. Some big scan hits go off, and to be honest, it looks like this is definitely going to go out in favour of NoName, except he's now pushing down onto the low ground, which is always an advantage, but it looks like he's just going to bypass that army and go and take out this fourth base position. There are 2 exposed tanks there.
You'll take a couple of losses from the tanks,
but it's definitely worth it. He's pushing right forward and deals a lot of damage, but pulls out just in time. Those 2 tanks were big.
Oh, that was close.
That was very close, but quite a few marines picked off by that little siege up, so I think that was a fairly equal trade actually. But
that was. It was a better trade-off for NoName because he got
2 tanks.
Yeah.
NoName. Yeah. Amazingly, NoName taking a 5th command center. There's actually a drop going down in the back base here of NoName. And that command center getting very low, getting healed up. It's only 1 medevac full, so this is pretty close. A tank will go down, and now just marines streaming in to try and deal with this. But obviously, marines versus a marines with medevacs isn't good. But what's going up at NoxOuT base here with this massive push, Pughy?
Yeah. Sorry, I was watching the drop quite happily there. And if we actually look in the center, NoxOuT is gonna surround the army of, or just cut it off entirely, of NoName and go for his fourth.
And to be honest, NoName is in a very bad spot here. His army is separated. He has cleaned up that drop though, but his fourth base, even though it's a planetary, is looking a bit weak now. But he's going to get huge losses. It's just going to get assaulted. But look at those repairs and how many marines are going down. That was a lot of marines lost right there.
That was. And of course, if there's enough units taken out from this little ball, the units at NoxOuT base, NoName can just surround them and kill them. But it looks like NoName is actually going to go for a mass drop into the 3rd base, or just goes to the ledge. Is he going to lose any medevacs? One's taking a lot of damage.
But he's now landed up in there, and that is an amazing position. Siege is done. There's more tanks than there is for NoxOuT, and well, NoxOuT actually doing a lot of damage, but obviously 1 tank remained up there. And
a lot of the tanks are at the close edge, so the marines stemmed and managed to pick them up before they could actually siege.
Which is a bit of a shame, but there's a couple of units here, but to be honest, this is levelling out so equally.
It is, and it's quite weird actually. There's, was it 3 command centers for each opponent? Or no, sorry, 3 for the NoName, 4 for NoxOuT. NoxOuT is about to take his 4th base with an orbital.
If we take a look at the worker count, it's very much in favour of NoxOuT. 69 to 53. Loss tab is actually really even. And we've got a big engagement coming in here. This little splinter army here of NoxOuT is going to get picked off. The tank's sieging up now, and the tank numbers heavily favouring NoName there.
And look at all the reinforcement tanks from NoxOuT. There's so many tanks. But there's no Marines. He should just pick up his Marines and drop them onto the tanks.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not doing that, but in come now the Marines.
Yeah.
That's a good little siege position. Going to give him... Well, both players are at a bit of a stalemate now. Doesn't want to move those tanks forward, though. I'm amazed he decided to go for that, because, to be honest, he just lost tanks.
Yep. And, like, too bad that NoName doesn't have a Viking or anything like that, because of course you could take out the medevac and then have the...
Well, he's actually getting... He's getting that...
Two
Vikings out, so they will be on their way shortly. Still just looking at this forward push, and it's not looking fun at all.
Oh, this little tank siege. We got around even tanks in total, 10v11 in NoName's favour.
I love this move by NoxOuT though. He's taking half of his army, and I thought he was going to go down and just try and drop into that back base, which would have been amazing. But we do see the Vikings getting the vision of the high ground now, and a scan does go off there for NoxOuT. And he does get more free tanks. I mean, if we look at the resources lost, it's creeping into NoxOuT's favour.
It is very slowly in this.
We have got a double drop coming in though at the fourth base of NoxOuT though, and a lot of SCVs have been killed there, but it is getting cleaned up. Takes the workers' kill count to pretty much exactly even.
Yeah.
And again, we've got more of a kind of sieged up tank position here, Pughy, and this is really the stalemate position of a TvT.
It is.
And what are the key ways to break this? You can drop units on top, or you can go for air superiority.
It's pretty much that. If you go for the air superiority, of course, it's nice to drop units. If there's Vikings, you can't really do that. So air superiority is normally what they go towards, and then it goes, siege tank Viking, and then of course it goes into a bit of mech, and then into Sky Terran.
I mean, the key thing here though is NoxOuT's just taken his fifth base.
Yeah.
So he's going to be a base up still, which is exactly where he wanted. 77 SCVs to 53 in NoxOuT's favour. NoxOuT is maxed out as well. So this is pretty interesting. Both players, upgrade-wise, are 3-3 on the infantry and 0-2 on the vehicles. So pretty even upgrades.
We have another engagement here. Oh, this is going to be so close, but NoxOuT has a massive advantage now.
Yeah, that was not a good engagement at all there for NoName. Really, really not nice. So he's losing too many tanks. I mean, if we look at the tank count, it's now 7-11, and that's never favourable.
No, though. And of course.
And again, he's just done another. He went again for another move forward and lost a tank and didn't kill any.
Look,
he just left the game. So.
Oh, well, I don't blame him.